It's what 5/10/18. That's right, 5th day of October, 2018, and our election candidate interviews. Get a lot of comments on these. Folks like to see just kind of a chit-chat conversation with the people that want to run for office to serve them lands, and we always get thanks for presenting these kinds of things. I hope that the candidates themselves view it as a great opportunity to be in a less structured setting, to just chit-chat a little bit about who they are and what they would like to do for us. And that continues this hour as well.
I'd like to tell everybody we've got a lot of our interviews on YouTube. So if you miss an interview, if you want some more information, want to hear more, go to our YouTube page or just Google it. Newstalk at Google. You would Google YouTube or Newstalk KIT YouTube or something. We've got a channel there. We've got a lot of information there, a lot of videos. Anyway, we continue our candidate interviews today with Yakima County Coroner's candidate, Jim Curtice. And thank you for coming in, Jim.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell us about yourself. Who is Jim Curtice, and what do you do in the Yakima Valley while you're running?
Well, my name is Jim Curtice. I am just a guy who's raised 5 boys. My wife and I have raised 5 boys in Yakima County.
Hold on, 5 boys.
Oh yeah, we're a busy household.
Wow.
We have one grandkid. And
Really?
Oh yeah, she just had her birthday a couple days ago, so it's just awesome.
All right.
And then we also so 5 boys. They've all doing great things.
Are they out of the house now?
Almost.
Cool.
Yeah, our youngest is actually a police officer here in Yakima, so we're really proud of him.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's doing awesome. We're proud of all of them, actually, all the boys. They've all very service-minded. Grew up that way. So I myself, I'm currently working as a paramedic. I've been a paramedic in Yakima County for the last 16 years. I have a total of 28 years pre-hospital medicine throughout the county. Running for the Yakima County Coroner. And
why do you want to run for the county coroner? You're doing a pretty good job with you got a good job now.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my job. Well, the canned answer is I've always been kind of interested in that, but it kind of goes a little bit deeper in that. Over the years, working as a paramedic, I've been on many scenes where what I see on scene and when I follow up and find out what the actual cause of death, or they came up with the cause of death, is different than what I actually saw on scene. So I'm not saying the investigative part is done wrong. I'm just thinking that they're missing. I feel that they're missing the medical part on scene during the investigation. I think with my past experience, I'm very knowledgeable with pharmacology, pharmacokinetics, anatomy and physiology, kinematics, how outside forces, affect the body, medical legal. And when I say medical legal, I mean legal documentation that has withstood court appearances.
This really does come down to, or at least it sort of seems like it's coming down to do you want a police officer investigator, or do you want a medical person, a determinant? And, when your opponent says that he's a better investigator, you can always get somebody to come in and do the medical. And your point is, hey, I'm the medical expert. What do we need an outside person coming in to do that for? Is that a fair way to shape it up?
I believe so. I also believe that years and years of experience. I've been on countless death scenes, horrific death scenes. I've seen many sad things.
How do you block it out and sleep at night? Let me just ask you that.
I've also lots of training with that and critical incident stress management. There's some cases that could just be a simple case, or it could be a very, usually pediatric cases are the tough ones, affect people. And so we have avenues for that we'll put a team together, meet with the team, discuss the issues, that kind of thing, just to so you have someplace.
Built-in protocol to at least walk you through the touchstones of what this kind of can do and how best to put it in perspective.
Right, yeah. Instead of bringing this stuff home, you're talking to your peers, and I'm a part of a team that does that, and also I've been a recipient of a team that does that.
Gotcha. All right.
Jim, you say your top priority is going to be emphasis on enhancing and maintaining the collaboration between law enforcement and forensic medicine in Yakima County. What's happening right now?
So I know, speaking with the different agencies, I spoke with staff from hospitals. Some of the issues they brought up was getting the death certificate signed in a prompt manner. And so I've recently met with some administrative and detectives, and they brought up some issues as well with just the decision on different autopsies that have been made, and so work towards that. I've got a very good working relationship with law enforcement. I've got a very good working relationship with the local hospitals, and so kind of just that cohesion, I believe, will definitely be a benefit for our families.
To help us understand, what does a coroner do when and a coroner is a coroner called when someone has a heart attack or they think it's a natural death? I mean, most of the time is a coroner called.
If it's unexpected or if there's suspicious circumstances, the coroner will come. That person will do their investigation. Law enforcement will do their investigation as well.
Oh, okay, I didn't know there was two different.
Yeah, so basically everyone does their own investigation, and then they'll come up with hopefully an accurate determination of death. I view it as why not take all the resources and kind of use them together. I mean, including EMS. I know that emergency medical services. I know where I work, the coroner's office, as far as I know, has never requested documentation that the paramedics on scene have written, and usually that will lay out what because usually the paramedics are first on scene, unless law enforcement is on scene. But usually the paramedic is the first at the patient side, providing providing care. Many times the patient is moved just because where they're at and accessibility to them to start the resuscitative process. So having so as a paramedic, you kind of look at it and say, okay, that makes sense, and I just think that that's part of that's something that's being missed now.
But do you think, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but I think if I'm at all a average person, and Lance, keep quiet on that, we think of the coroner being necessary for those cases that might have a criminal element to that, or certainly are outside the norm, that maybe the paramedic types wouldn't be at first.
So the coroner is investigating the death. What is the cause of death? So it could have a criminal element to it. I would say that someone with my background unfortunately there is traumatic incidences that happen, and those are pretty straightforward usually. I mean, there can be an autopsy that follows that to follow exactly what part, organ, or what body part was affected. Mm-hmm. But also there's with any death, you want to look at what the patient was doing prior to that, the best you can, what medications they're taking, what medical history that they have. There's different medications they have to do different tests for, and along those lines. So there's definitely a medical component to death. I totally
sure. And what you're saying is your experience in that would that then help you better understand and better investigate a suspicious death because you were there, or the paramedics were there and you got that report from the scene, and that was coupled with the law enforcement?
I think that coupled with other aspects, if there was an autopsy, the information that you got from that, the information that other law enforcement gathers. I mean, so yeah, you can be separate. Or I don't see why you couldn't work as a team and help with, and get all the pieces for the puzzle instead of half the pieces here and half the pieces there.
The other thing is the majority, there's 700 or so or more deaths a year that come through the coroner's office. Is that the right number? Do you know?
I believe so. I believe that's
something like that. The majority of those wouldn't have any sort of criminal element to. They might just not be unknown at the moment, right?
Right. Yeah, it could be
So in order there's where the medical side of things probably pays more into it than any sort of crime fighting investigative technique.
Correct, and also it may deter some of the having autopsies that maybe they're not needed. If you look at all your puzzle pieces and put them together.
Right.
So,
KIT News Time is 8:28. Jim Curtice running for Yakima County Coroner. Jim, tell us, you got about 2 minutes. Tell us why you're a better choice than the current Yakima County Coroner.
Well, thanks. First of all, I want to thank you guys for this opportunity to sit here and sit with you guys. I feel that my past experience as a paramedic, being in Yakima County on all these different scenes, and my medical training and continuing training that goes on would definitely benefit. I believe I can help with the community trust that I feel has been affected with the coroner's office, and that would be through proven professionalism, reputed integrity, transparency within. And I just want to say that we are very committed to this valley. I'm committed. My family's is very committed to this valley, and it's a great place to raise your kids, and I want to keep it that way. Also, I also want to bring forward that I plan on doing public service announcements, kind of with some of the local things that are affecting our valley, opioid overdoses, suicides, and different things like that. I recently spoke with a group of senior citizens in a town in the Lower Valley, and it went really well. And I did probably a 15-minute presentation on opioid overdoses and what to look for, and kind of what that group of people might consider, to look for, so that we don't fall succumb to that. So I'm hoping maybe save some lives, save some money, and then provide a great service.
And Jim, you have a lot of endorsements from the Yakima Firefighters Union, Seattle Firefighters Association, GLEAD, Jeff Foff, Yakima Fire Captain, Rand Elliott, County Commissioner. It's a long list of folks, and many of these folks involved with the kind of work that you do.
Oh yeah, and we recently just picked Sunnyside Fire also just recently endorsed the Sunnyside Professional Firefighters.
And I assume because you work with all those folks, or you have in the past.
I have in the past, yes, and yep, and thof people see, kind of the same thing I see. So,
right on.
Well, best of good luck, Jim. And if you haven't managed to win, we'll be happy to have you back and converse as you put some of these informational programs and other things into place. It'd be good to see you down the road. So thanks very much for your time.
Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Jim, you got a quick website where we can find you?
Yes, it's, I'll probably mess this up. It's www.curticeforcorner.com.
And it's Curtice, Curtice.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for coming in, Jim.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Fox News is next.